Marshal Magincalda was a United States Marine who came to me because he was being accused of murder. 5 Marines and 1 corpsman who are going to testify against Marshal at trial. And everybody said, including the experts, this was a case that could not be won. If convicted, he would be executed by the Marine Corps. It wasn't as much of the story about what happened as much as the story about what happened and why it happened. Marshal had very, very bad PTSD, and the military had done it to him.
I was on my 3rd deployment. Prior to that, my 1st deployment pushed to Baghdad in 2003. I was in the Battle of Fallujah.
By constantly putting Marshal Magincalda in combat around the worst conditions that day after day after day damaged his brain to the point he didn't think the same way as everybody else. The Marine Corps and the military didn't want to accept any responsibility for that. I told his story, and we made sure they were going to. See, the jury got to hear about a Marine whose complete dedication and purpose in life was to protect those around him. And as a result, we won the case. And Marshal got to go back to his unit and finish out his career as a Marine. He's the only one today who received an honorable discharge.
This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Purple Heart Gold Star in lieu of second award.
While we were litigating the case and preparing for trial, I'd pushed hard to have the military reconsider his Purple Heart. And after we won the case, the citation came through and it was official. They had awarded him a 3rd Purple Heart.
Can I have my attorney, Mr. Joseph Lowe, sir?
He asked a civilian like myself to pin that on him, that Purple Heart that he earned. It's one of the greatest honors I've ever had in my life, if not the greatest honor.
When your back is against the wall, you gotta have someone there who's able to get through all the minutia, all the legal detail that you don't know about, because that is not your MOS, that is not what you have been focused on. And Joe was there for me. He always informed me very, very well. And not only that, he was like, man, I'm getting emotional, sorry.
After the case, one day he came to my office and he presented me with this letter that he'd written to me. And it said this: if you have ever been in a firefight, you know what it's like to have your life in someone else's hands. Inside that courtroom for me was like combat, with my life on the line. I had to be able to trust my lawyer just like I trusted Marines in Iraq. Joe saved my life. He went to Hamdaniya, Iraq, in the Sunni Triangle to gather facts for my defense, literally putting his life on the line to help me. Joe was the only lawyer strong enough to stand up for me when every other lawyer wanted to plea out and fold. Like I said, I wouldn't trust my life to anyone else. Semper Fi, Corporal Marshal Magincalda, Jr., U.S. Embassy.